big balance ball today so that we can have a seat. We'll work on a little bit of basics just to kind of get situated and start to gain our balance and stability on the ball. So maybe just a little bit of a rock here first, side to side with the hips. Notice the shoulders are staying really steady. Okay, so I'm just moving the hips a little bit, kind of activating that side waist, getting a little warmed up. You can start to connect with your breath. Big deep breath in, and maybe blow it out through the mouth. So every time you exhale, you're going to start to activate even deeper, okay, through your core muscles. So I want you to pause here at center and just take a little lift of an inhale, kind of fill up, open up the front body, and exhale, scoop the belly. You don't have to tuck your tail deeply, just kind of pull back a little bit. Inhale. So really it's more about the activation of your belly to spine, kind of pulling up and in. Blow it out. It's creating a little bit of C-spine, but also a scoop. Belly pulls in. Just a little seated cat-cow. Inhale. Exhale, pull up and in. And two more. Inhale. Exhale. Round it out just a little bit, but more so scooping. And then pause. So we're going to shift over to one side and then start to kind of shift forward and around. So now you're creating your big circle. So we're still keeping the shoulders really steady. And this is all happening from the waist. Okay, deep breath. Exhale it around. Not because you're just pushing into your feet or kind of moving that ball around with your legs. It's all happening from the center of the body. You should start to feel really warm right here. Your shoulders staying really nice and steady. And then reverse it. Think about just drawing a big circle with your tailbone. Deep breath. Exhale it out. And then one more, back to center. And release. All right. Take a little moment. You can add a little bounce. I just got to move my iPad so I can see better. All right. So take a little bounce. Okay, don't worry about that. The recording doesn't happen on Zoom. Okay, so don't worry. Thanks, though. So a nice little bounce up and down. Shoulders back and down. Take just a moment. I gotta see why I have chats happening. Okay, yeah, I know. Don't worry about that, guys. We aren't recording on Zoom. Don't worry. Okay. All right, now back to center. Shoulders pull back and down. Arms down by the sides. Okay, start to find a focal point in front of you. So you're going to take opposite arm and leg. So scoop the belly in. Opposite arm and leg lifting. And then lowering down. So you're really trying to engage first through pelvic floor. Your little hammock muscles that are beneath you that you're sitting on, basically, between the sit bones, pubic bone, and your tail. It's like you're pulling up and in. Sit up nice and tall, then you're zipping up, and then lift. Just a little float. So you don't have to kick your foot out or anything. Just try to lift your leg a little bit. Just float that foot off the mat or off the floor, wherever you are. You do want to try to have your ball on a mat so it doesn't kind of float away from you when you start moving, because it will push out away from you if you're on carpet or hard floor. Lift. Nice and slow. Just try to lift the knees slightly up and lower down. Let's take 4 more. Inhale. Exhale, lift. 3 each side. Nice, like it's a slow march. 2. And then 1 more. Good, and pause. All right, so feet about hip distance apart, shoulders pulled back and down. We're gonna take the elbows out, just a little shoulder mobility here. Okay, so squeeze the shoulders, but notice if they start to kind of shrug up and drop them down. Pull back, and then bring the elbows to the front like you could tap them together and open up. Okay. Pull them together and open up. Good. Back together. And squeeze the shoulder blades. Okay, inhale, exhale, Let's try 3. Open. 2. Belly stays pulled in. Your core is solid. And 1. All right. Back to center with the elbows out to the sides. Pause right here. Shoulder blades back and down. We're going to rotate to your right. So just rotate just the shoulders. Legs don't move. Just your shoulders. Okay. Back to center. Inhale. And then exhale over to the other side. So I want you to keep your hips really steady. Your knees are steady. So if your knees are kind of shifting with you, that means that you're moving from your pelvis first. Okay. I want you to just try to anchor here and then rotate. So find the rotation from the waist. Okay. Inhale. Using your obliques, your spinal rotators. Keeping your shoulders pulled back. Now let's take one more each side. Scooping up and in through the lowest part of your belly still to maintain that stabilization. Just take a moment and relax. Roll them out a few times. You can add a bounce if you like because it's fun. All right, so shake it out. All right, so we're going back to that same space with the opposite, or not so much opposite arm and leg, but as we turn to one side, we're going to lift that leg. So we're going to take the arms back out, shoulder blades back and down. Look like a little goal post with your arms. Inhale, start to turn to your right. Take a pause. See if you can just float the right foot off the floor. Okay, so knee slightly lifted, foot just floating above the floor, and come back to center. Inhale, exhale, rotate and pause. Float the left foot and bring it back to center. So you have to pull the belly in and up. Again, you're always trying to activate through the pelvic floor first for stability, and then drawing belly to spine. See if you can make that kind of a flowing motion here. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotating, floating. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. 4 more. Doing good. Or you're rotating and lifting the foot of the side that you're rotating toward. 3 each side. And rotate. Keeping the hips steady, rotating from waist. 2. Last 1 each side. Make sure your hips are staying right under your shoulders. And last time right there. Bring it down and release. Whew, sure, I got those shoulders again. Let's take a little side reach up and over. And then bring it down. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Nice big side reach. Good. And just kind of swing the arms front to back. Get them all loosened up. All right, so we'll start a little walkout. Okay, so you're going to take your ball to the back of the mat. We're going to kind of still use that little marching type of a motion. So you're going to sit at the back of the mat first, making sure you have plenty of room to walk out. Your ball will stay on a mat. Okay, so otherwise the ball, especially here when we start to walk out, the ball can slide out from under you if you're on carpet or a hard surface. So make sure it's a nice, good sticky mat. Okay, sitting up nice and tall. So you could start with your hand on the ball or just kind of right at your hips, wherever you feel most comfortable. Okay, they might even be out for balance. So we're gonna lift one leg. So let's all do this together. So we're gonna lift the left leg first. I want you to step it out, big step. 1, and then 2, 3, 4. Take a little lift, head rocks back, you're on the ball, shoulders are supported. Drop the hips down. There's a little scoop that's happening. And then we walk back. So let's take the right leg first. 1, 2, 3. And we end with the left and we can lift it up or you can tap it to the floor. Okay, so lift up, step big. 1, scoop in through the belly. 2, 3, 4. You're in that little supported bridge, elevated bridge. Lift the hips, scoop your tail. And then drop back down a little bit, scoop the belly, walk back right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll notice you'll start to run out of space back here behind you. It's okay. Just bring your ball back underneath you. All right, let's do one more time on the left side. Lift up, step 1, 2. Now you can challenge yourself by not holding on to anything. 3, 4. Lift the hips, lower them down, walk back, right, left, right, left, and you roll up to the top. Good. All right, so now we're switching sides. We'll do about 3 on the other side, so with that lead. Okay, so hands can be right on your hips or thighs or on your ball for some more stability. Take the right leg, lift it, step it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scoop and lift. Give a nice little contraction to your booty. Walk back left. So a step with that left foot from ball to heel, and ball to heel right, left, and then we can float that right knee up, challenging your balance more. Step it back out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Little bridge, lift, lower slightly, step back, left, right, lift. I gotta move my ball again. One more time. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. Booty lift. Walk it back. Left, right, left, and lift. Now step out. Go ahead and move your ball back to the mat if it's coming off the back. All right, walk it forward just a little bit. All right. So I'm going to give myself more grippy here. Okay, so I've got grip with this mat on my mat, my little travel mat on top. It works for my ball, but not as much for my feet. So more traction. Okay, so here we are. Hands can stay behind the head or they can be down the ball or hips again. Okay, inhale. Your booty is down, lower than your knees. Okay. And exhale, take a little squeeze, lift up, let your head rock back, and you're in your nice elevated bridge. Inhale, drop the bottom down. Inhale, exhale, lift up, and scoop. Just doing little elevated bridge lifts. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, scoop and lift. Inhale, lower. Good. Exhale, press through your heels. Feel like you're going to pull your heels towards your bottom. They're going to stay on the mat, but like you could kind of pull yourself just gently forward with your heels, activating your hamstrings, getting those glutes active by really lifting and tucking slightly to the tail. Okay. Just want to keep that back of the low back nice and long. Okay. Let's take 3, 2, last one. We're going to hold. Take a little hold right here. So your hands can stay behind your head or they can be on your hips. Your head and shoulders are relaxed onto the ball. Keep your hips lifted up. We're just going to hold. So we're just in that nice elevated bridge lift. I want you to see if you can make a tabletop with the top of your body. Nice and level. Okay, so keep pulling your tail slightly under. Give your glutes a good contraction. Now with your shoulders, I want you to walk back just maybe one step or so, just one step. So now your shoulders are not going to quite be as supported. If you find that's not comfortable for your neck, come back down a little further. All right, but now you're going to have to really engage deep into the belly, pull pelvic floor up, then engage those transverse abdominals. Now let's reach the arms up like you're holding a block or a small weight over your head or a small ball. Feet are separated. We're going to rotate over to the left, okay, or just one direction. It doesn't really matter. So find a direction that you can rotate and then come back to center. If you really need something behind your head here, you could take one hand at a time, maybe that top hand behind your head, come back to center, and you can give it a little support, but I never want to push it forward anyway. All right, so you're just going to hold on, let your head rest in your hand, rotate, back to center, inhale, rotate. It's like you're just holding something here between your hands and you're turning to one side. Now if you want to challenge your balance more, bring your feet closer together. Inhale, exhale. Take it, last 4, 3, 2, and last 1, and release. You can walk yourself back a little bit further and just round over your ball. Oh, give it a nice little relaxed, just kind of supported back bend space here. Roll up just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to walk back and then move my ball so that it doesn't get too far back on me. All right, so now let's walk the feet out just a bit so that you're on your low back. Okay. So now you've got a lot more space up here for your shoulders. Like you could come, I gotta keep adjusting mine. You could come just about to seated on your ball. Okay, not right smack dab on top of it, but say, I know it's round, but if the ball had an edge, you're sitting on the edge, right? So then walk down just a little bit. You feel the lowest part of your back on the ball, but your rib cage kind of lifted up off the ball. Okay, so now hands can support the head. We're gonna inhale, lower back, and then exhale, scoop the belly, lift back up. Inhale, lowering down. I want you to still feel like you could kind of tie your hip points and your rib cage closer together, even on the way back. So you're still working in that eccentric contraction. So meaning your muscles are trying to lengthen as you go back, but I'm asking you to keep them somewhat active and pull toward each other. Get those transverse abdominals active. Okay, so that you're still maintaining that girdle space around your waist. And then we're just lifting and lowering, scooping deep. Let's try just 4 here. 4, 3, I'm going to turn just a little bit. Here we go. 2, last 1. Now take your left hand to your hip, or just one hand, it doesn't matter which, whichever's most preferable to you at this moment, and let's just crisscross over. Okay. It's nice and slow. It's more like a little windmill at the top. Inhale. You want to be able to come up and then give it a little turn. Inhale. Exhale. Blow it out. Scoop the belly. Let's go 4. Good. Keep that elbow out. So I don't want you to be able to see your elbow and your peripheral. Okay, as long as you have kind of an average range of peripheral vision. If you're gazing forward, you don't see your elbow out here to the side. Okay, if the shoulder opens up for you that much. So let's go ahead and switch sides. So assuming our elbow is out just from our shoulder, our gaze is following with our nose. So every time my body turns, my vision turns with it, but my elbow stays right where it started. So you're not flapping your wing over here. Good, nice and slow. Making sure that we're not bouncing off that ball. So that's something else that can happen here. We can rock back and we can almost add a little momentum by bouncing on that ball. So we don't want to do that. So let's take these last 4, 3, 2, last 1, and you can let out a big grunt. Ugh. And rock it back. Nice little open heart. Just stretch it out. Maybe swing your arms around a little bit. Okay, now we'll start to roll back up, walk back, and we'll come off of the ball. All right, so I'm gonna scoochie this back out. So grab a blanket or something for under your knees if you like that extra cushion. So if you have something that's more cushion that you want to take under your knees, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my blanket here. It could be anything. It could be another mat that's rolled up. It could be nothing at all if it doesn't bother your knees. I just like a little cushion here. So we'll work on our little plank rollout. All right, so being mindful of your own body, how you're feeling today. Don't go too far out, especially if you're feeling like a little discomfort already in your low back. Don't go so far out that you're going to put more stress or strain in your low back space. Okay, so we're going to kind of pull the pubic bone upward. Okay? A little bit of a tug on the tail. Hands are going to be on the ball. Shoulders pull back. Inhale. Start to roll yourself out just to your forearms. So just to your forearms and elbows. Exhale, roll back. So when you roll out, you're pushing into it, right? So you're pushing into it, keeping your heart lifted. And then exhale, draw back. I want you to keep your heart lifted, your shoulders and your hips in line. Okay, so inhale. Exhale, pull back. Good. You want to try not to land on the ball and see if you can avoid hinging at your hips. Okay. So if you need a little small break in the hip, especially if you know your body and you know what feels right for you, okay, please work accordingly. I'm trying to keep a nice little plank here. So just like you would if you were in an elbow plank on the floor. So inhale, rolling out. Exhale, scoop the belly. You might even pause there in that out position. Sometimes I have to kind of readjust. So I'll pause, and then I pull the belly up a little deeper, and then lift up. Okay, so while you're here, we're going to do a few more. All right, so while we're here, we're going to think of 3 things that we're grateful for today. Okay, so on this next one, think of one thing you're grateful for. You could shout it out, right? Everybody's muted. You can shout it out. Okay, I'll say I'm grateful for the beautiful weather. Okay, second thing you're grateful for today. I'm grateful for my awesome Pilates ladies. Third thing you're grateful for today. I am thankful for the structure and the home that I have because it makes me feel secure. All right, so 3 things every day that you're grateful for. Go ahead, round out. So we can call those our thankful planks. All right, round it out, just rock around a little. You could really add that gratitude practice to anything. Right? Especially if it's something that you don't always enjoy. If you add gratitude to it, you start to enjoy it more. All right, so now that we're already on our belly, you might have to move your blanket just kind of off to the sides, get it out of your way so it won't be on your feet. And we'll walk out just a little more. Okay, so finding your kind of supported plank here. Okay, so make sure that your toes can be under, that you might even put your feet up against a wall or a piece of heavy furniture. You could always do that as well. Okay, and that you can also be able to lift your arms and not roll forward on your face. So you should be able to float here pretty easily. And that's kind of your test. If you lift your arms and you're too far forward, you're going to feel imbalanced. Your head's going to dive forward. So I want you to be able to rock back enough that you're in a nice diagonal. Okay, so it should feel pretty easy just to float your hands up. If your ball is a little too big, you may actually need blocks, right, under your hands. So here we are. We're going to push down through the pubic bone. Keep the tail nice and long. Opposite arm and leg lift again. So let's take one leg up and then the opposite arm up. Reach and lower it back down. Nice and slow. I want you to steady yourself by kind of, in your mind's eye, think of your hips becoming very level with one another. Both of your legs equally as long. Both side waists equally as long. That's the big one, right? Sometimes the hip kind of moves a little bit, or maybe you have a little imbalance in the hips. And one side of your waist will feel shorter than the other. So here's where we're going to really connect that mind-body connection. Okay, so inhale, slowly lift. Notice if you're wobbling more on one side, and really focus before you lift on that side. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, bring it down. So it should be a nice, slow, controlled movement. 4 more. Lift and bring it down. 3. Slow. Give it a little pause at the top. I want you to feel like you're moving in water. So if you moved in water, you can't just fly up there. You have to move slowly, like there's resistance around you. Take 1 more each side. Lift, lower down, and last time, and release it. Just round it out. Oh, hug the ball like it's your best friend. I'm grateful for my ball because it supports me and holds me up. All right, give it a nice little hug. Relax, rock around a bit. Okay, here we go. Back to center. So we're back into that kind of supported plank position. I'm going to take opposite arm and leg. Hang on a sec. Let me turn my mat just a little for you. All right, so we've done this before. But if you have not for some reason, welcome to the party. All right, so we're just going to take a little diagonal reach now. So taking opposite arm and leg again, lifting up. This is not a big movement. We're just taking the leg and the arm about 5 inches out to the side, then bringing it back in and lowering it down. So when I lift, I turn my palm in on this one. It just feels better for my shoulder. And then I take it out just a few inches, not big, back to center and back down. So inhale, it goes straight in front, straight behind, and then a few inches out to the side, back in and down. Inhale, lift, keep pushing your pubic bone down into your ball. Anchor here. Back down. Inhale, lift, reach, center, and down. We take another one, lift up, slightly open, back in, and down. One more each side. So we lift, take it open, bring it in, lower down. You're still engaging through your pelvic floor, belly to spine, even though we're on the belly. Bring it in, lower down, and then release. All right, good. So just adding a little bit of abduction, adduction. So moving away, moving in. Round it out again. All right, so we've done front, we've done back, we've done some side body work a little bit for our obliques on our crossovers, but let's do it from the side. So everybody's favorite, let's grab a blanket, okay, if you need it, if you like it, under your knee. Place that right about the middle space. If you're mirroring me, you're going to be on your left knee. And you're going to pull your ball up right next to you. So if you were standing on your knees, you would just pull your ball right up next to you. Okay? You stand on the left knee and take your right leg out. And then let's lean over the ball. So shoulders back and down. Front foot, or top foot. Toes pointing forward. Check out your middle space here. So I want you to pull your belly button up just slightly, your hip points up a little bit, not a big tuck on your tail. It's just a little engagement that you're pulling ribs and hips together. Okay, now start to slowly lift up. I'm reaching over the ball for stability. My hand is going to be kind of fingertips to floor. You could have hand on block. Okay, lift up. Your hand, other hand can be right here for support. If you would like a little extra challenge, you can have it on the hip or lift it up in the air. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Good. Exhale. Now, if it bothers your neck, you could also rest your head on your hand. I like to make almost like a little soft fist and just rest it on the temple. So anytime you're in this lateral position, that could be triangle pose, side plank, whatever, you could also look down. This will kind of alleviate some tension in your neck if you're feeling tight in your neck. Okay, let's take 4 more. Notice if you're starting to hinge and your booty's starting to drop back. Okay, so really engage, scoop the belly, toes are forward. 3, 2, shoulders back and down. So many things. Hold it right here. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Now just for fun, bring your hand to the ball. Let's see if we can move forward and back. So you could take a bent knee approach to this, right? So we've done that before, I think. We can bring it forward. We can take it back. You don't have to keep the legs straight. So if that's a little much, keep your knee bent. If you want to straighten it out, increase that lever that you're moving. Go for it. 3, 2, nice and slow. There you go. You're still scooping in. 1, and release. Bring it down. Drop that knee and hip and reach over to the side. Get a nice long stretch. It's like mermaid on the ball. And bring it back up. And go to the other side. All right, so stabilize. Comes over to your right hip. Left leg kicks out like a little kickstand. Okay, so over. You can have your hand grounded or just hanging out, or you could be just draped. Always making sure that we're never bringing that elbow under us and kicking the shoulder out. That's the only thing I ask you not to do there, right? So, hand can be on hip or on ball. Let's float the leg up, toes are to the front. Inhale. I want you to shift just a little bit with your hips. So there's going to be a little bit of booty back, but I want you to keep your tail pretty long. Okay, so lift up, lower down, nice and slow. Once again, notice how your neck is feeling. If you need to turn and kind of look down, that's an option. Or you can support your head here, keeping your nose in line with your sternum. So head in line with your spine, okay, or crown of head. Bring it up. Scoop the belly. So really activate on that exhale. Think about those girdle muscles engaging. 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Good. Hold it here. So again, your hand can be on the ball. If you want an extra challenge, take it in the air. It's your choice. We're going to bring it forward slowly. Bring it back. If your hamstrings and hip flexors and/or are fairly tight here, you'll probably need to bend your knee so you don't feel like you're pulling on your back or your pelvis, whether it's in the front or back. And it may give you more range of motion. Inhale. And maybe you just aren't ready to take that big lever yet. Bring it forward. Push it back. Sometimes I just like doing that one anyway because I get a little more booty contraction. Let's go 3, 2. Trying to keep your ball nice and steady. And 1. Bring the knee down and reach. Oh, like a big kind of side, I don't know what it is. I was like, I don't know. I was going to tell you something fun, but I don't know. Just reach over to the side. It's like a mermaid position. And bring it up. And then release. Awesome work. Okay, let's roll that ball out. So sitting back into an extended child's pose. Walk the hands forward or roll the hands forward with the ball. Let your head fall. Knees are wide. Just kind of opening up through the chest a little more again. You can separate your hands as wide as you'd like here. And I'm going to roll it over to one side, just kind of like hand over hand. Roll it over. And once you're there, if you're leaning, like say I'm reaching to the left side, I'm going to keep my left hand on the ball. Let the head and shoulders fall. Now maybe thread your right arm under. So you're adding a little twist here. You could do that, or you could just rest your head down towards your forearm. It may not land on your forearm. That's okay. You could even prop it up with your hand. Okay, so you can add a deeper twist or just that kind of lateral reach with a forward bend. Let's come back to center. So we're going to walk it over. So I'm reaching to the right. I'm going to keep the right hand on the ball. So whichever direction you're reaching, keep that hand anchored. Drop down. You might just let yourself kind of fold forward. Or you can thread your other arm under, palm facing up, and kind of land on the back of your shoulder. Come back to center. And let's walk that ball back. And come all the way up. And we come up into seated. Let's just have a little seat on the ball. Final moment here. Ah, awesome work. All right, take a little bounce. You can take it forward and back again if you like. Kind of opening up the chest, getting mobility in the shoulders. Let's sweep up again. Big deep breath in. Bring it back down. So imagine that you're in that water again, right? Little resistance, moving slowly. Lift up. Big reach. Exhale down. Take this last one. Come up and bow to your awesomeness today. Thanks for showing up. Yay!